Today we're covering the best proxies for logistics and supply chain data collection. From freight rates and container availability to carrier performance and delivery timelines, the companies that can collect, analyze, and act on this data fastest gain a decisive competitive advantage. Gathering this information at scale from dozens of shipping platforms, carrier websites, and logistics marketplaces presents significant technical challenges. Proxy infrastructure has become an essential tool for logistics intelligence teams, freight forwarders, and supply chain analysts who need reliable, uninterrupted access to publicly available shipping and logistics data. Logistics platforms and shipping carrier websites are designed primarily for individual users checking a single shipment or requesting a single quote. When companies need to monitor hundreds or thousands of data points simultaneously, such as freight rates across multiple routes or delivery performance across carriers, they quickly run into access restrictions. Shipping platforms like Freightos, C-Rates, and individual carrier portals detect high-volume requests from a single IP address and restrict access. This means your data collection efforts grind to a halt just when you need information most urgently. Geographic restrictions present another challenge. Many logistics platforms serve different pricing and availability data based on the requester's location. A freight forwarder in Singapore may see different rates than one accessing the same platform from Thailand or Vietnam. Without the ability to rotate through IPs in different regions, you miss critical pricing variations. Session fingerprinting has become increasingly sophisticated. Modern logistics platforms track not just IP addresses but browser fingerprints, request patterns, and behavioral signals. Simple IP rotation alone is often insufficient to maintain consistent access. Data center proxies offer high speed and low cost, making them suitable for collecting data from less protected logistics APIs and public shipping databases. They work well for initial data gathering from government trade databases, port authority websites, and basic carrier rate pages. However, their IP ranges are well known, and platforms like container booking sites and freight marketplaces frequently block entire data center IP ranges. Residential proxies route traffic through real household internet connections, making requests appear to come from genuine users. They are significantly harder to detect and block, which makes them more reliable for sustained data collection from major logistics platforms. The downside is that residential proxies can be slower and less consistent, with IPs that may go offline unpredictably. For time-sensitive logistics data like spot freight rates, this inconsistency can be problematic. Mobile proxies represent the gold standard for logistics data collection. They route traffic through real mobile network connections, inheriting the trust level that mobile IPs carry. Because mobile carriers use shared IP pools through carrier-grade NOT-CG and NOT-T, blocking a mobile IP would potentially affect thousands of legitimate users, so platforms almost never block them. Data Research Tools provides mobile proxy infrastructure specifically optimized for data collection across Southeast Asian markets, with connections through real mobile carriers in Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Data Research Tools offers the geographic coverage that logistics companies operating in the ASEAN region need for accurate, location-specific data collection. Delivery rates are notoriously volatile, fluctuating based on demand, fuel costs, seasonal patterns, and geopolitical events. Companies that monitor rates across multiple platforms and routes can identify the best shipping options and negotiate better contracts. Using proxies, logistics teams can systematically collect spot rates and contract rates from platforms like Freightos, Zeneta, and carrier-specific portals. Mobile proxies from Data Research Tools ensure these requests appear as natural user behavior, preventing detection and blocking. Monitoring on-time delivery rates, transit times, and service quality across carriers requires ongoing data collection from tracking platforms. Proxies enable automated monitoring of shipment statuses across carriers like Maersk, MSC, Evergreen, and regional carriers without triggering anti-bot protections. The container shipping market experienced extreme volatility during and after the pandemic, making real-time container availability and pricing data invaluable. Proxies allow companies to monitor container booking platforms, spot market prices, and equipment availability across multiple ports simultaneously. In Southeast Asia, last-mile delivery is handled by a fragmented ecosystem of carriers, including J&T Express, Ninja Van, Flash Express, and dozens of local providers. Collecting delivery performance data, pricing information, and service coverage maps from these platforms requires IP addresses from the relevant countries. Data Research Tools mobile proxies provide authentic mobile IPs from each SE country, ensuring you see the same rates and service options that local businesses and consumers see. Building a logistics data collection pipeline starts with defining what you actually need to collect. Common data points include freight rates across ocean, air, road, and rail by road, and carrier, container availability and pricing by port, delivery timelines and SLA performance by carrier, fuel surcharges and accessorial charges, customs clearance times by port and country, and warehouse and fulfillment center availability and pricing. Listen, for most logistics data collection, a combination of proxy types works best. Use data center proxies for public databases and government trade portals with minimal protection, and deploy residential or mobile proxies for commercial platforms with anti-bot measures. Data Research Tools offers flexible proxy plans that let you mix mobile proxy connections across multiple Southeast Asian countries, with automatic rotation and session management built in. This means you can configure different proxy profiles for different data sources without managing complex infrastructure. Python is the most popular language for logistics data collection, with libraries like Request, Scrappy, and Selenium providing the foundation. You configure your scripts to route requests through your proxy infrastructure, pointing each HTTP call at the proxy endpoint with your authentication credentials. Even with mobile proxies, responsible data collection means implementing reasonable request intervals and intelligent rotation. Data Research Tools provides automatic IP rotation, and you should also build delays between requests to mimic natural browsing patterns. Logistics data is most valuable when analyzed over time. Set up a structured database to store collected data with timestamps, enabling trend analysis and historical comparison. Postgres or MongoDB are popular choices for logistics data warehousing. Responsible data collection means working within reasonable limits. Even though proxies provide technical capability for high-volume collection, focus on collecting only the data you need at intervals that do not burden target platforms. Different logistics data requires different geographic perspectives. When monitoring freight rates between Singapore and Bangkok, collecting data from proxy IPs in both countries gives you a more complete pricing picture. Data Research Tools makes this straightforward with country-specific mobile proxy endpoints. Some logistics platforms require login sessions or multi-step interactions to access pricing data. Use sticky sessions where you maintain the same proxy IP for the duration of a session rather than rotating IPs mid-interaction. Data Research Tools supports configurable session durations for exactly this purpose. Automated collection can sometimes capture cached or outdated data. Implement validation checks to ensure the data you collect is current and accurate, and cross-reference rates from multiple sources to identify anomalies. The logistics industry in Southeast Asia is uniquely complex, with fragmented carrier networks, varying regulatory environments, and rapidly evolving e-commerce logistics infrastructure. Data Research Tools addresses these challenges with genuine mobile IPs from carriers across Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. The connections carry high trust scores that avoid detection on major logistics platforms, with automatic rotation and configurable session persistence built in. Latency is low, which matters for time-sensitive rate data, and the infrastructure scales with your collection needs. Whether you are a freight forwarder optimizing route pricing, an e-commerce company benchmarking shipping costs, or a logistics technology company building data products, Data Research Tools provides the proxy foundation for reliable, comprehensive logistics data collection. Data Research Tools data collection is no longer optional for competitive companies in the shipping and fulfillment space. The right proxy infrastructure transforms what would be a manual, error-prone process into an automated, scalable intelligence pipeline. Mobile proxies, particularly those from Data Research Tools, with their focus on Southeast Asian mobile networks, offer the highest success rates and most reliable connections for logistics data collection. By combining the right proxy infrastructure with well-designed collection scripts and responsible practices, logistics companies can build the data advantage they need to optimize costs, improve service, and outperform competitors. If you want to learn more, head over to our website at dataresearchtools.com, where we've got guides and tutorials covering everything from proxies to web scraping and beyond. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.